The idea of getting to put on pajamas and go hang out with my friends, vibe. We might as well go have a little birthday weekend. My favorite independent bookstore. This could not have worked out more perfectly. Hello friends and welcome to my channel. We are picking up this week's reading vlog from last week's reading vlog in which we were continuing series. I am just going to attempt to mood read the rest of April. As we've talked about, I'm in the middle of some very good series that I'm so excited to keep reading. However, I do definitely think that I am in the mood for a palette cleanser. So I'm kind of curious to see what we're going to get up to this week. However, what I do know for certain is that we will be starting by finishing off the Fever series by Karen Marie Moning. I feel like at this point I literally cannot shut up about it. If you've been following me along at any platform, any point in the world in which I have been screaming into the abyss about the series, I've been having such a good time with it, and we're at such just like a wild point that I would have never ever have thought we would have gone in this series. I think part of that has to do with because this is a backlist book. This is not something that follows a very currently standard process. Like, it just is so different. And again, I think that does have to do with when it was written, but then also it just is what it is, and I'm loving everything about it. So we are going to continue reading on this series in particular, and then I had to run to the office and grab our lovely bag here that I may or may not be able to open. We're also going to be continuing on in the Lady of Darkness series with Lady of Embers. I think I'm somewhere around the 15% mark in this book. I've been listening to the audiobook and I don't really love the audiobook. Really much of it all. However, I have really just needed to press pause on this series so that way I could go finish the Fever series, because Fever series is just taking over my life, and then this will also continue to take over my life. This series is definitely getting a lot more complex, a lot more plot focused, and a lot more fantasy driven as opposed to just like the silly goofy romance. But then there's also all these different character storylines that I'm really intrigued in watching. I honestly had really hoped to be finishing the series in this vlog, but also it has just taken me a little bit longer to get through because these books are a little chunky, and also I was sick. I just haven't been reading as much, so surprise I've been dragging and I've not like been on top of my goal that I wanted to. However, we are reading this. It's currently April 24th. We have about a week until Escape the Readathon starts. Do I have an Escape the Readathon TBR? No. Should I probably make an Escape the Readathon TBR so I know what I need to get read before then? Yes. Will I do that? Maybe. However, we're gonna finish the Fever series because that's literally the only thing on my mind at all times, ever. I'm not gonna be okay when I finish the series. I'm gonna need some business days to process this. So I'm putting off the inevitable because I don't want to finish it. Let's go. I'm officially 5 chapters into Lady of Embers, and yeah, it is, it's going, the overall like timeline that we're doing this book in is very entertaining to me. We're opening up the story in a place that builds a lot of tension, but in a way that I wasn't necessarily expecting, so I'm definitely I'm into it. I'm just like I can't believe, but we're getting into the like big bad plot of the story, and I'm just like so entertained by watching all of these pieces finally come together. Listen, I need Cyrus. I need the additional characters that we're getting to have their romance moments, and I think we're starting to get some, and I'm excited. I'm having a good time with it. Hello friends, we are parked kind of close to ish where book club is tonight. I parked away because I meant to give you guys a little bit of an OOTD, if you will, earlier on, and then I totally forgot. But then I felt like if I was parked in front of Jessica's house, everybody would be looking at me while I was doing some sort of an update. So I parked one street over, and so we're technically on our way to book club. We've not made it yet. However, I just wanted to first of all not only express my gratitude for the internet in general, but also just like I'm so just on an absolute high right now, because I feel like every time that I have like something fun like this happen, I always just think back to little like high school me who thought I'd never literally ever read a book for fun. And the fact that not only am reading books for fun, okay, I was doing that for a really long time, and then in my like early adulthood I just felt like so absolutely isolated and so alone, because reading happens like fully inside your head, right? The fact that it no longer, like, there's an entire hobby sphere, if you will, that is dedicated to not only reading books but connecting with other people that read books, it just makes me feel so beyond grateful and just like so appreciative that is out there. So not only thank you guys for following me, and for any conversation, that if we've ever had a conversation, if we've ever interacted in any way, or if you just even if you've been like a silent viewer and you have just been listening to me rant and giving me a little place to talk about books and the things that I enjoy doing, I just am so appreciative and so grateful. I'm just like, I'm up here y'all. The idea of getting to put on pajamas and go hang out with my friends, vibe. You cannot tell me that that's not the absolute best way to spend a Tuesday evening. And if this is what the rest of my adulthood looks like, I've done it. We've really done it. So this is your sign. If you are looking for a friend group, obviously the internet. Okay, number one, the internet. Hi, welcome to the internet. But number two, I quite literally posted in a Facebook group, and I got adopted into this book club, and I'm so singing appreciative for the introvert me just finally one day just reaching out and being like, hi, so I need friends. Can anyone hi? That really worked. So literally posting on Facebook, if you're looking for a book club to join, start there. Might recommend that. Anyways, I'm currently wearing my favorite Walmart muumuu. Could I have found an uglier muumuu for book club tonight? Yes, but was I also in a hurry? Did I really want to spend money on an ugly muumuu when I genuinely wear nightgowns? No. However, I was gonna say we have made it to book club. We're the street across from book club. I was doing several different book clubs. So this particular book club is basically the friend group, and we had ended up having to push off last month due to some things. So it's been a good, not only a month, but then also like technically 2 months since the last time we all hung out. And the last book club, a lot of people were sick and just like down bad in general. So not a whole lot of people came to the last one. So I'm just so excited to get to see my friends. So all of this to say, will I vlog much at book club? Probably not. Am I excited to talk to my friends? Yes. Am I wearing a muumuu? And are we about to go talk about The Fall Risk by Abby Jimenez? Yes. Did I read Abby Jimenez earlier in actually the 48-hour readathon previously? Yes. Why am I still asking questions? I don't know. However, I'm just so excited to go gab and talk absolute mad smack with all my friends. So let's go do that. What are we getting?
So I walked in expecting, oh my gosh,
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight.
Hello friends and happy Friday. We are gearing up for a little bit of a road trip. So Bestie McKenna's birthday is tomorrow, and we had talked a couple months ago about potentially me coming down there for the weekend, and then we just didn't. Finley, you're okay, buddy? We didn't like officially make plans. And then during lunch today, I was like, you know what? I don't have like any specific plans. We might as well go have a little birthday weekend. So Finley and I are going to go. Oliver's going to be staying home with my roommate. And I think he's much happier with that scenario than ever potentially coming with me. We literally just got in the car, and Finley is very excited. I've been running around trying to pack all the things. And so obviously that's like amping him up. So he is panting, though I imagine in about 2 seconds he's going to be taking a nap. But we are going to go see McKenna and Piper and Pal and have a fantastic weekend. So we have a 6-hour road trip ahead of me. I'm going to catch up with my mom, call her for a little bit, and then I will more than likely switch over to the Lady of Embers audiobook. I've officially decided I don't really love these audiobooks, but they're not like terrible. I'm just like not finding myself really wanting to listen to them. So that's option 1, but then option 2 is I am in fact still halfway through Zodiac Academy 3. It's technically 15% of the half. So all of that to say, I've got some audiobook options ahead of me. We've got a road trip ahead of me, and we're going to go have a fun little birthday weekend. We are also going to Waco, which means that Fable bookshop. Given that tomorrow is not only McKenna's birthday, but it's also Independent Bookstore Day, we're also going to my favorite independent bookstore. This could not have worked out more perfectly. I've definitely vlogged going to Fable before, but I think it was just once before technically. I know since I've had BookTube versus like Instagram, regardless, we're going to take you all for the birthday weekend shenanigans. It's supposed to be very chill, silly, goofy little weekend, which we're going to hang around the house basically. So I might update you. I might not update you. I might update you on the way home. Who really knows? However, that's what I will be doing this weekend, and I will check back in whenever I check back in. I don't know. last night I got in at like 1:10, 1:15 or so. It was quite aggressively late, and then I could not stop listening to Lady of Embers. I felt like I was having a really hard time getting into this book, and I was kind of like really just focusing on the Fever series and just like not necessarily this series in particular. And then we kind of had to get through a lot of like intro work in this book, and then we started to get some stinking fun. And I think part of it is because we had already had our main like romance plot line developed, so we were trying to get through some plot, and now we're getting back into developing more of the side character romance plots, and I'm just like, I'm having such a fun time, to the point where whenever I got here last night, I just wanted to keep listening. I went to go let myself in, and the deadbolt accidentally was still locked, and so I was like, okay, listen, I could call McKenna. I could just sit here and keep reading this book, and I had that Alani like right before I left Lubbock, and so I was wired. I was at the point where I was like so tired, but also like kind of delusional, but like also wanted to read the book and clear my decision making was supreme. So I proceeded to lay down in the back seat and like was just listening to the audiobook, and then I woke up to McKenna knocking on my door at like 4 a.m. so I listened to the audiobook, I set my sleep timer, I took a little car nap, and then we made it in.
Shall be my squishy.
He's so cute.
His little eyes are open.
He's just like that chilling.
A cutie bug.
Okay friends, we have officially made it back to the home front. I want to go ahead and give a little bit of a recap and a little bit more details because I talked through absolutely nothing that was happening, but I also have a bookstore haul and some other things that I figured we could just talk about, do a little chit chat, but then follow it up with a reading update because I have in fact finished Lady of Embers. So we have a couple bases to cover. So number one, I did end up getting into Waco fairly late. So the plan was I was going to drive in Friday night, and then in the morning, Pal and McKenna were going to go to a Pilates class at 8 a.m., which, like, honestly, what an iconic birthday move. And they ended up bringing me back a strawberry matcha, which there are so many people recently that I have been seeing that have been all over the strawberry matchas, and I just want to be a strawberry matcha girl. Okay, more specifically, I want to be a matcha girl, which, like, I can get down for a matcha. However, I really wanted to try a strawberry matcha, so I did, in fact, try a strawberry matcha. Was it very good? I don't know. I neglected to fully stir in the cold foam, so that was on me. However, we tried it, and that was fun. And then we ended up going on a walk. I think it's technically speaking like part of the Waco River Walk, which I always love every time that I go to Waco. That's my favorite thing to do, just because I live in a desert. So getting to see water and trees is a unique experience for me. So we went and did that. And then after we got back, we ended up changing, showered. We went to Fabled. So their theme for Indie Bookstore Day was take me out to the bookstore. So they were giving out the Big League Reader little, like, felt sign things. I got a Mother's Day card for my mother. And then they had little foam finger stickers that says go books. When we read, everyone wins. Facts. And then I got a little book dragon pin. I'm slowly collecting pins to put onto the front of my backpack. She's so cutie. I love her. So if you have any name recommendations for her, leave them down below. And then I couldn't quite decide what book I was gonna get. I was really tempted to get Sea of Unspoken Things by Adrienne Young, which I still definitely will get, but I'm just not 100% sure what I'm gonna get to reading that book. Her books tend to be a lot more like atmospheric-y fall to me. So I definitely want to get that book soon, but I'm gonna wait until closer to when I actually want to read it. But then, okay, I know I did just recently read, technically speaking, my first Abby Jimenez being The Fall Risk, which is a novella, but I really desperately want to read a full-length book of hers, and I just felt like there was something about this that was calling my name at this time. Now, I know that this was on so many people's best of 2024 lists, like best of the year. Like, this was their favorite books, and if not, it's one of their favorite contemporary romance books. So I'm so excited to get to this one. I was holding off on this book because I was really wanting to, I know this is technically like the third book in, is it the third book? I researched this a while ago now. Clearly I'm fully remembering it. This is technically an installment in her like interconnected standalone situation, but I wanted to read the books before this, before I got to this, but now I'm kind of like, you know what if I just like get to this? So I did get this and I'm so excited. And then we ended up flaunching around a couple boutiques. Ended up going to the Collective in Waco, which I did get these pants that I'm currently wearing. I'm really into these jeans. They're very like stretchy, very fun. I desperately needed. But then I also ended up getting this dress, which is very rolled up, but I am planning on wearing this to my sister's graduation. I didn't end up wearing it to church, but it's just like this cutie little, basically, it's supposed to be more of a midi length, but of course it's gonna be a maxi length on me, and it's actually so cute, so I feel like this was a giant success. I also managed to get some sunglasses because I needed them. Okay, sorry, I just had like an absolute conniption because it completely cuts down the camera viewfinder. Like, I can't, the camera viewfinder is completely black. So I guess these work somehow. They do something. Yay. And then we ran around to both Target and Ulta. I ended up getting a new hairbrush because the hairbrush that I have is currently the Fine and Fragile version of the Tangle Teaser, and it's not for me. But then we did end up sniffing around some perfumes. I did get the Aqua de Joya, the Intense version. So I was kind of half debating getting a new bottle of the Intense. So I was like, we're going with the mini. And then I have a mini that I can throw in my purse. But then I also topped up on my ordinary hyaluronic acid. So we did pretty good. So we kind of just like ran around town, just did all the shopping around, flouncing around town, fun times. And honestly, it was so fun. One of those days where you didn't like do anything super in particular, but it ended up being so much fun and just like so inside good because you're getting to spend time with one of your friends. And I really needed it. I really needed it. So I am very thankful that this weekend just like kind of popped up out of nowhere. So we ended up doing all that Saturday, and then Pal cooked dinner for us. It was so good. Kind of offensive that that's not just like regularly done for me here. We're gonna need to work something out somehow. But then Sunday morning we ended up going to church, and the Pal's been watching The Last of Us, but I apparently stopped watching it in season 1 on like episode 2 before the end, so we ended up watching, I think it's technically episode 8, so I need to go watch episode 9 so I can watch the new season that's just out, but I like, girl. So I will slowly be catching up on that TV show. However, I did over the course of this weekend, I managed to finish Lady of Embers. Okay, so I started off this vlog with really high intentions of reading Shadow Fever before I did this, and I think I didn't make much more progress into Shadow Fever. I'd have to go actually look for sure. But I basically haven't picked up Shadow Fever because I've been slowly picking off little bitty chunks of Lady of Embers, and I've been having such a good time. One thing that these longer fantasy series do that I really love is once you establish the main romance line, there's not as much like romance tension without forcing characters into like false breakup moments, putting him in a conflict that you don't really want. Like I have a really hard time with longer romance series if there is nothing else going on romance wise, just because that main couple, like, we've kind of had their information, and now in order to keep that interesting we have to put them in scenarios that are just like annoying, and you just want them to be happy and like figuring out whatever the plot is and not giving so much like relationship drama, but I still want romance development. So when a series like this can swoop in and give you not only one, not only two, maybe three, and maybe even four complete side character relationships, it is like I'm having a good time. Like, I think that the plot is good, and I'm really enjoying the conflict in the series of this whole overarching situation that's happening, while keeping it still vague. But we're also getting to see all these side characters start to form these relationships, and I'm down. I am down for the count. There's one set of characters that have been kind of building up, and they're kind of like, whatever. They're more so off to the side for me. There's another set of characters that I was really like, I knew they were gonna get together, and we're starting to get, and it is giving. We're starting to get, and it is starting to give. And I have been chanting for these two characters this whole time, and I was like, what if they just? And it's so funny to me because when I finished Lady of Ashes, one of the voice messages that I sent was, I really hope that these two characters, I really hope, my headcanon is that they please get together. So that's going really well for me. And then we also have, I wasn't quite sure, this other character that we had, we didn't really have anyone in the existing character lineup that I thought would do it. And then, we have a couple more characters introduced, and they are my favorite couple. Like, yeah, I'm absolutely fangirling over the two of them. And there is actually a bonus chapter. I went and read the bonus chapter after finishing Lady of Embers for both those two characters, and there was one technically at the end of Lady of Ashes. I don't think that I'm going to read the Reaper. I went ahead and started Lady of Starfire, and I think that I might just save the Reaper for later on. Like, it might be a good like 24-hour readathon, something or other to pop in, but the character sorry, I'm trying to like process what words I can give. Especially with this being the fourth book in a series, I very much so do not want to give any important spoilery information, but I also would love to find a way to verbalize things in which will make you want to pick this book up, because you really desperately should. But when I got to this particular point, from not only like I thought I was kicking my feet over one set of characters, and then we had another set of characters just like swoop in, and I was no longer kicking my feet, I was like slamming my feet up against the table that I was reading under, because I was just taken out. I was done for. I am past. I'm deceased. I am unwell. I am down bad. So I immediately, I still haven't ordered a copy of Lady of Starfire. I need to do that immediately. So I went ahead and started Lady of Starfire. Now Bailey has already finished it, so I'm trying to hurry up and read that and like sort of catch up to Bailey, and then we will circle back to Shadow Fever later on. However, we have officially made it to the very last day in April. Did we meet my goal of finishing this series? No. Did we meet my goal of finishing any other series? No. But did I have a fun time attempting? Yeah. Yeah, I did. I'm just like so on an absolute high at the moment, not only because I have been finishing series. One of my complaints that I've had for a little bit of time now, I felt like I've been reading just a lot of stuff, but I haven't been as deeply connected to a lot of the things that I have been reading, and no freaking wonder, because girl, you're only reading the intro. What a shocker. So now that I'm getting further on into these series, I don't know how to handle it, because I am so deeply connected after feeling so deeply, maybe not so deeply, that's being dramatic, but I was definitely feeling disconnected from what I was reading for a minute, just because nothing was hitting, because I wasn't just like in the lore, and I am in the lore. I am lost in the lore at the moment, and I'm having, yeah. Things are good. Things are really good. Did I at some point say that I was 20% of the way through Shadow Fever? Am I making that up? I think I'm fully gaslighting myself because, plot twist, I made it 5% into Shadow Fever. I feel like this month has been definitely full of me saying that I'm going to do something and then end up not doing it, but that's okay because we are vibing. We are absolutely having the fun time. I think that I just needed a month to just mood read and just kind of like chill and decompress, but we successfully had that. So it is officially the end of April, which means that this vlog is coming to a close because starting tomorrow, I will be participating in Escape the Readathon, which I'm very excited about because it is a very mood reader friendly readathon, which clearly I am at the moment. So did we get up to very much reading this week? No, but did we have a great time? Yeah, I'm feeling really good right now. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this vlog. I hope you enjoyed getting to spend the week with me. It did not turn out how I expected it to, and I'm very appreciative of that. So if you made it this far into the video and wanted to let me know that you were here, go ahead and leave a baseball emoji because honestly, I think that Take Me Out to the Bookstore, cutest name ever. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day or night wherever you are, and I will catch you in the next one.